Welcome to Akakwi channel. I am your host Melinda. We begin with today's stories.
The Epel Kapinias story, From Village Fields to International Rugby League. Chapter 1, His Early Life. Born in Nangananga village in the Raluana area of East New Britain Province on 30 August 1999, Epel Kapinias grew up surrounded by rugby league royalty. His village had produced numerous talented rugby league players over the years, creating a legacy that would profoundly shape his future. Growing up in a family where rugby league was more than just a sport, it was a way of life, Epel found himself naturally drawn to the game from an early age. His famous uncle, former Rabaul Guria and Kumal rugged prop forward Solbat Lucas, served as one of his earliest inspirations, while his cousin, former Guria and original PNG Hunters winger Albert Patak, provided a more contemporary example of what was possible for a young player from their village. Despite his father's career as a policeman and the possibility that Epel might follow a similar path after completing his Year 12 studies, the pull of rugby league proved irresistible. I started playing rugby league at schools, Epel later recalled, describing how his journey began on the dusty fields of his local school where he first learned to handle the ball and understand the tactical nuances of the game that would define his future. The young prop forward's natural talent became evident early on. His powerful build and instinctive understanding of the game caught the attention of local coaches, who recognized that this quiet village boy possessed something special, a combination of raw physical ability and the mental toughness that had become synonymous with players from the Raluana region. Chapter 2, Digicel Cup Games. As Epel matured as a player, he began making his mark in Papua New Guinea's premier domestic competition, the Digicel Cup. This competition served as the breeding ground for many of PNG's finest rugby league talents, and it was here that Epel began to establish himself as a force to be reckoned with in the forward pack. Playing for the Rabaul Gurias, the team that had launched the careers of his uncle and cousin before him, Epel brought a new dimension to their forward rotation. His aggressive running style and solid defensive work quickly made him a fan favorite at the Sir John Guy's Stadium and other venues across Papua New Guinea. The Digicel Cup matches were intense affairs, with each team representing not just their region but the pride of their communities. For Epel, every game was an opportunity to honor the legacy of his family while carving out his own identity as a player. His performances in the competition began to attract attention from talent scouts, who recognized his potential to play at higher levels. Week after week, Epel's consistency in the middle of the field demonstrated his readiness for the next challenge. His work rate was exceptional, his ball handling skills reliable, and his defensive reads improving with each outing. The young prop was clearly outgrowing the domestic competition and ready for bigger stages. Chapter 3, Hostplus Cup Games. The natural progression for any ambitious PNG Rugby League player was to join the PNG Hunters in the Hostplus Cup, formerly Queensland Cup, and Epel's transition to this higher level of competition marked a significant milestone in his career. Epel Kapinias is a Papua New Guinea international rugby league footballer who plays as a prop for the PNG Hunters in the Hostplus Cup. The Hostplus Cup represented a massive step up in professionalism, intensity, and skill level. Competing against established Australian players and other internationals, Epel had to quickly adapt his game to match the pace and physicality of this elite competition. The PNG Hunters, based in Port Moresby but travelling extensively throughout Queensland for matches, provided the perfect platform for Epel to showcase his talents on a broader stage. Training with the Hunters introduced Epel to advanced conditioning programs, sophisticated tactical systems, and the kind of professional environment that would prepare him for international rugby league. His natural leadership qualities began to emerge as he took younger players under his wing, understanding the responsibility that came with being part of PNG's flagship rugby league team. Game after game in the Hostplus Cup, Epel's reputation grew. His powerful runs from the base of the scrum, his ability to offload in traffic, and his never-say-die attitude in defence made him a crucial component of the Hunters' forward pack. The competition served not only as a proving ground for his individual skills but also as preparation for the ultimate honour that awaited him, representing his country. Chapter 4: Commonwealth Games. The pinnacle of any PNG Rugby League player's career is wearing the red, gold, and black jersey of the Papua New Guinea Commonwealth, and for Epel, this dream became reality in 2022. Kapinias made his international debut for Papua New Guinea in their 24-14 victory over Fiji in the 2022 Pacific Test. That debut against Fiji was more than just another rugby league match, it was the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and the support of his family and community back in Nangananga village. Stepping onto the field wearing the Commonwealth jersey, Epel carried with him the hopes and dreams of not just his own family, but the entire rugby league community that had nurtured his development from those early school days. His performances in the Commonwealth jersey quickly established him as a reliable and consistent performer at international level. Papua New Guinea at international level has always been competitive in Pacific Rugby League, and Epel's presence in the forward pack added another dimension to their attacking and defensive capabilities. The international arena exposed Epel to different styles of play and higher levels of competition, experiences that only served to improve his own game. Whether facing off against established NRL stars representing other Pacific nations or taking on emerging talents from across the region, Epel consistently demonstrated the qualities that had marked his rise through the ranks: determination, skill, and an unwavering commitment to his team's success. Each Commonwealth appearance was not just a personal achievement but a representation of his village, his province, and his country. The pride of wearing the national colours never diminished, and Epel approached every international fixture with the same intensity and passion that had characterised his journey from village rugby to the international stage. Chapter 5: PNG NRL 2028 Inclusion. The announcement that would change the landscape of rugby league in Papua New Guinea forever came in December 2024. The incredible story of the journey of rugby league in PNG has received its ultimate end result with the announcement that the country will join the NRL in 2028. For players like Epel Kapinias, this represented the opportunity of a lifetime. The new PNG team will come into the NRL in 2028. The timing gives the new franchise 3 full years to build a high-performance facility, hire a coach, assemble a roster and prepare for their first season in the competition. As an established PNG Hunters player and Commonwealth representative, Epel found himself perfectly positioned to be part of this historic venture. The PNG NRL team is set to feature a significant number of local players when it debuts in the National Rugby League (NRL) in 2028, according to PNG NRL bid Chief Executive Officer Andrew Hill. This commitment to local talent meant that players like Epel, who had proven themselves through the traditional pathway of Digicel Cup, Hostplus Cup, and international rugby, would be given genuine opportunities to compete at the highest level of the sport. The prospect of playing NRL football represented not just a personal dream coming true, but also the fulfillment of a promise to the countless young players across Papua New Guinea who had watched the Hunters and Kumals with hopes of one day reaching similar heights. Epel understood that being part of PNG's NRL team would make him a role model for the next generation of players emerging from villages like Nangananga. The journey from village fields to the NRL would complete a remarkable circle, from those early days playing school rugby league under the guidance of family legends, through the domestic competitions, international representative honours, and finally to the world's premier rugby league competition. For Epel, it represented validation of not just his own hard work, but the entire system that had nurtured rugby league talent in Papua New Guinea for generations. Chapter 6. Advice to Students. Drawing from his remarkable journey from a small village in East New Britain to the International Rugby League stage, Epel Kapinias has valuable wisdom to share with young people, particularly those who dream of following in his footsteps or pursuing their own ambitious goals. The most important thing I learned growing up in Nangananga village is that your background doesn't determine your future, your commitment and hard work do, Epel reflects. I could have easily followed my father into the police force, and there's nothing wrong with that path, but I chose to follow my passion for rugby league, and that made all the difference. His advice to young students is grounded in practical wisdom gained through years of competition and personal growth. Education must always come first, he emphasizes. I completed my Year 12 studies because I understood that rugby league, like any sport, can be unpredictable. You need to have options and you need to develop your mind as well as your body. For those with sporting ambitions, Epel stresses the importance of patience and persistence. Success doesn't happen overnight. I spent years playing in village competitions, then the Digicel Cup, then the Hostplus Cup, before getting my chance with the Kumals. Each level taught me something new and prepared me for the next challenge. Don't try to skip steps, embrace each stage of your journey. He also emphasizes the value of family and community support. I was fortunate to have role models like my uncle Solbat Lucas and my cousin Albert Patak, but even if you don't have famous relatives, find mentors in your community. Listen to those who have walked the path before you, and never forget to give back to those who supported you along the way. Perhaps most importantly, Epel encourages young people to dream big while staying grounded. When I was playing school rugby league, the idea of PNG having an NRL team seemed impossible. But dreams have a way of becoming reality if you're willing to work for them. Set high goals, but focus on what you can control today: your training, your attitude, your commitment to improvement. His final piece of advice carries the wisdom of someone who has faced both success and challenges. Whatever path you choose in life, whether it's sport, business, education, or anything else, remember that your character is more important than your achievements. Be someone your village, your family, and your country can be proud of, not just for what you accomplish, but for how you conduct yourself along the way. For Epel Kapinias, the journey from Nangananga village to International Rugby League stardom is far from over. With PNG's entry into the NRL on the horizon, he stands as living proof that with dedication, support, and unwavering belief in oneself, even the most ambitious dreams can become reality. His story continues to inspire a new generation of young Papua New Guineans who see in his success a roadmap for their own journeys to greatness.